Hello everybody, I am back to try this really fun mold. This is like an ice cream cone shaped jar, okay? So here is the cone part. This is a really, as you can see, pretty decent size, that big around or so, well, at least on the outside. And then this part here is actually going to take quite a bit of resin because there's no doming spot in here. So unless you've got something you want to stick in there, that's going to take up a little bit of resin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this part here. And I thought it would be fun. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm going to pour this in here. I've got jade diction made up. And maybe this is Sig Wong's champagne gold. That might make a nice ice cream cone color. Let's try that. I'll just put some in there. About like that. And we'll give it a stir, see what happens. All right, so now I'm going to take a bit of alcohol also, and I'm going to go in and spray around these edges inside this mold. Some people prefer not to put alcohol inside their molds, and that's fine too. Just a matter of preference. If you're really worried about your mold and the longevity of it, then skip the alcohol if you want, but I'm not too worried about that because I don't use that much. I'm not using pure alcohol. I'm using 91%. I really haven't seen it cause a problem. So yeah, just a matter of preference. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pour this, and it's not completely blended. So I kind of like that. I want it to have a little bit of color variation just to make it a little more fun. And I'll tell you, they do not give you very much room for this to go through the sides. So hopefully I won't have a problem with bubbles. The inside of this mold seems to be fairly thin as far as not it's not going to be very thick, the cut portion here. So I'm pouring the whole thing at once. You can check your resin, see how deep you can pour at one time. There's a lot that goes into that. Your room temperature, your resin temperature, the temperature of your mold, the temperature that your mold is sitting on. There's just a lot of things that go into play with your resin curing either too quickly or just right or not enough or whatever. So yeah, just familiarize yourself with your resin so that you know. And it's a good thing to know that ahead of time because those of us who found out the hard way will tell you not worth it. Okay, let's see here. I'll let some of these bubbles come up. Let's see, I've got a few. I don't see any around this edge, but there's probably some in there. Give it a quick spray. Okay, so I really don't have enough resin here left to do anything with my top of my ice cream. So I'm going to wait on that. I'll come back and do that one. And I'm going to set this over and let it cure. Watch it for bubbles. And then I'll be back. I'll make up more resin and I'll be back for us to do the next part. Okay? I'll see you then. Okay, everybody, I've got some J-Diction made up here. And I am getting ready to pour the top of our little jar. So I'm not sure how much this is going to take, but I thought what I would do is I'm going to start with about, I think maybe about 6 ounces. I thought about maybe putting something in here a little bit to take up part of the room, but I think this time I'm just going to go ahead and pour it solid. And I'm going to be using this Sigwang Pink mica powder. Okay, I'm just going to take my little craft stick or popsicle stick here, get the green glitter off, and do about that much. Maybe a couple scoops there. Go ahead and get this stirred in here. This is going to be kind of a metallic pink, and I'm going to add a little bit of white to it to make it a little bit more of a strawberry color. It's really a pretty color right now. We're not going to need any more of that pink. This away. Get it stirred up real good though. Now this mold is fairly deep. I would guess about down here to the tip, I would guess maybe a good 3 inches or so. So you might want to pour this in layers, okay? I'm going to pour this all at once with my J-Diction, but I am going to put it in front of my cooling fan because that is pretty deep. It's wide and it's deep, okay? So you don't want to get a flash cure. You're going to want to make sure that you know your resin really well before you pour something that deep all at once. And I'm going to add a little bit of my Pinata white. I could also add a bit of my pigment paste. Shake this up really great. Let's do a little bit in here. Like that. Let's see what that does. That is a white alcohol ink. Just want to make this kind of a creamy, pretty creamy color. Get this all the way down. And I don't need this to be all the way mixed. Okay, I want it to look a little bit like there might be a little bit of white vanilla ice cream mixed with this. I am going to pour just a tiny bit, or spray just a tiny bit of alcohol just down into the very tip of our ice cream cone. Not very much, just a little. Get my finger down in there, get rid of the excess, and let's just go ahead and pour it. I think this is going to be a great color for the ice cream section. And here comes some of that white. Okay, gosh, you guys, that took exactly 6 ounces, okay? So if you buy this jar and you're keeping track of how much I'm using, I know sometimes you guys come back in and ask me questions at the end, I mean in the comments, how much resin something took. You know, I don't usually write it down where I can just come back and look at it really quickly, but it usually is in the video at some point. So you might need to go back through, if I can't tell you right offhand, and rewatch the part where I'm pouring, because that's probably when I would say. Okay, so if you skip ahead once in a while, which I totally get that, But that would be the point where I would tell you how much I've used when I've used it. All right, so this, I'm gonna give it a quick spray. The alcohol ink, that white alcohol ink is kind of moving around in there, and that's okay. But I'm gonna set this over on the curing rack and let this cure. And as soon as this is done, I will unmold it and the cone, and we'll put it all together. I think it's gonna be super cute. All right, I will see you then. Hello everyone. Okay, I'm back, and these are both completely cured, and I'm excited to get them out of here. Let's start with this base. This has been sitting in here for just a couple of days, and I'm really thinking that this color that we used was just perfect for this project. This mold is super stretchy. It's a nice kind of a thicker mold, so I'm not having to use any kind of alcohol or water. My goodness. Tell you what, I don't know that we could have gotten any closer on the color. Does that look like an ice cream cone or what? Oh my gosh. I mean, literally, I expect if I squished it that it would start flaking. It looks so realistic. What do you guys think? It is crazy realistic, and you can see that the inside of the mold, it's not glossy, so that just really adds to the fact that it makes it look really realistic. Okay, well, that was fun. So now let's take out our top piece here. It's the same way. The mold is nice and kind of a thick quality, and there it is. Here is our topping, and we've got just a little bit of white swirl through here, as if this was strawberry ice cream that had a little bit of the vanilla still mixed in it. And that looks really cute together. Let's see how this looks on. And oh my goodness, look at that. It looks really good. Now the only thing is, I see, does it fit in here really well? It looks like the cone is just slightly oval. Just a little bit lost its round shape, and that was probably my fault. When I set it down, I might have set it, you know, even if you just barely sit it down with it puckered a bit, I should have made sure that it was nice and rounded all the way around. And if I would have done it like that, this wouldn't have happened. But it's okay, it still fits. It just is kind of just sits on top there. But what do you think? Cute, super cute together. That is a really cute little jar. So now it's a little plain, my ice cream topping here. So I decided, I got this little jar at Hobby Lobby or Joann Fabric maybe at Christmas time. So I'm just going to take some of these sprinkles, and I'm going to remove the peppermint candies out of it. Okay, I think that's going to be enough sprinkles for this part. I don't need too many, but I am going to use just a bit of UV resin to put these on. So I'm going to just put a couple dots. Use my flashlight here. I just took these two glitters, ultra fine glitters, one in raspberry and one in blush from Recollections. And I decided just to go over it and just give a little bit of added sparkle for this. And then I can just get rid of any excess glitter after this all cures. I'm just going to go all the way around the edges.
Okay, so this is just about done. I think the last little thing I'm going to do is just kind of turn this into a little Valentine's Day jar. And what do you think so far? I mean, you could take the glitter, you could leave it. You know, they have the little edible glitter that you can put on cupcakes and cakes and things now. And so, yeah, just for the sake of the video, I added the glitter. Not sure I would do it again. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. But okay, so these little hearts here came from Temu, and they have an adhesive peel-off sticker backing, okay? And then they've got a film over the front, and these are little mirrors. But I thought it would be fun if I can get it to maybe like put it up here, like maybe it was at the top of our ice cream cone, like that. Let's see, the front, how do I want this? I want the front of this to be like this, so maybe it's just going to be like kind of sticking, maybe even just something like that. Just kind of, you know, like that. Okay, let's try it. I think that it couldn't hurt. These little mirrors are actually really nice quality. I've used them in a couple of different things. They come in a big pack, and they're not very expensive at all. I'm going to go ahead and peel this backing off if I can with my gloves on. Finally, get off of there. This is what the backing looks like. It does have adhesive on it, but I'm going to go ahead, put a little bit of UV resin. I'm going to have to just cure it coming in from the sides, it looks like, because I don't think that's going to do it any other way. I just put a little bit on there about like that. And it may just drip down the bottom, but I'm going to see if I can just get it to kind of be right about here. I know you can't really see what I'm doing too well. There we go. I have it kind of maybe off to a side even. About like that. Okay. And I can kind of see in here a little bit. Not sure I'm really reaching the areas that I wanted to reach. I'm going to put a little bit more down in here. See if I can find a spot where that's going to connect. Might even have to hold it down. This is done, and I think it turned out really cute. It was really fun. Let me know what you think about the color of the ice cream cone. I don't know why I'm so excited about that. Kind of silly, but again, I'm pretty sure that was the champagne. Yeah, it was the champagne gold, the Sigwan champagne gold. And I will put the link to those mica powders also in the description if anybody's interested, along with this mold. And cute, super cute. I think this turned out fun. And let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful rest of your week.